Hey campers, so we made it to the end of the week for CYB Virtual Summer Camp. I hope you guys had fun. And how many of you guys are ready for bed? No? Are you sure? Why not? You guys want one more story? Alright, let's do one more story. So today we'll finish off with a cool story and then we'll say goodbye to all of you, okay? So let's listen.
Jonah and the Fish, a flipside story written by Dandy Daly McCall, illustrated by Lissy Marlin. Jonah's side of the story. I'm Jonah of Israel. Life was great, till God told me something I chose to debate. Now go up to Nineveh. Here's what to do. Just tell them I love them the way I love you. But I didn't like all those people up there. So here's what I said. God, I just do not care. I bought me a ticket and sailed on a ship, the opposite way from that Nineveh trip. But God stirred the waves with a fierce storm at sea. I told the ship's captain, the problem is me. The sailors tossed cargo to lighten the load. The harder the wind blew, the harder they rowed. You must throw me in, or you won't stay afloat. At last, the men tossed me right out of the boat. I sank in the waters. Oh, why had I fled? And that's when I saw a big fish straight ahead. The fish swam right for me, its mouth open wide. I slipped through its teeth, then I swooshed deep inside. Day 1, I was thinking, my answer's still no, 'cause since I hate Nineveh, why should I go? I came to my senses, I think, on day 3. I said I was sorry and begged God, send me. That fish took a breath. Then I felt myself soar up like a dove before landing on shore. I waved to the fish, for I knew I'd been blessed. I walked straight to Nineveh. God's way is best. Wait, you thought you were finished, didn't you? It's time to take another look. Close, then flip this storybook. The fish's side of the story. I'm a mighty big fish in a mighty big sea. There I lived and I ruled and I swam worry-free. But I thought I was born for a deed brave and bold, and that deed hadn't come, though I'd grown very old. Then a storm stirred the waves, and a howling wind blew, and I spotted a ship with a terrified crew. The waves rocked their boat. It could turn upside down. Unless someone saved them, I feared they'd all drown. Then a voice I knew well said, "Today is the day. Now the deed I've prepared will be coming your way." It was God, the Creator, who governs the seas. I would heed His command, for I wanted to please. Above, on the ship, someone prayed to the Lord. Then down came a man who was tossed overboard. I watched till I heard the Creator's strange plan. Your brave and bold deed is to swallow this man. But man is the highest of all God's creations. I thought my deed would bring great celebrations. Now swallow this man, and your deed will begin. I opened my jaws, and the man slid in. That man kept his silence as day passed to night. For 3 days I wondered if I had done right. The man in my belly said nothing at all. I feared that I'd only imagined God's call. At last the man prayed, "Lord, I know what to do. I'll go and tell Nineveh all about you." And that's when the master said, "One command more. Now spit this man, Jonah, out onto the shore." I laughed as I swam. Then I took a deep breath, and up came the man as if risen from death. He landed ker-plop, and he tumbled a bit. Who knew my great deed would be swallow and spit? And that was the last I saw of the man. But Jonah, I guess, must have followed God's plan. For tales out of Nineveh, stories I've heard, they say that those folks were all changed by God's word. The Lord said, "Nineveh has more than 120,000 people living in spiritual darkness, not to mention all the animals. Shouldn't I feel sorry for such a great city?" Jonah 4, verse 10 and 11. The end.
All right, guys. How many of you guys like that story? I'm sure most of you have heard Jonah's story in the Bible, right? But it was pretty cool to see the fish's perspective, or the fish's side of the story, right? That doesn't happen very often. And like Jonah, we have been called by God to do things for Him, to preach, to share about the love of Jesus. We have an obligation to do that. There's many things going on in this world, a lot of problems, a lot of things that are happening, and they seem really big, right? Really troublesome. But God has called us to surpass that, to overcome that, and to be His disciples and share His word. So guys, we are really grateful that you spent some time with us at virtual camp. From all the staff and from myself, we just want to say thank you guys, and we miss you guys a whole lot. We hope to see you next summer at Camp Yorktown Bay in person. See you guys. Happy Sabbath.